Welcome back to the Seven Figure Secrets event, ladies. I have a special guest here, Laurie Burrows, and I have known Laurie since her son was super small, and he's 5 now. So it has been a minute since we've had a chat, and I can't wait to bring this to you because this is somebody who rose what felt like to me so quickly, and then you have not slowed down, and you have just continued to grow and grow and grow. So, Laurie, please introduce yourself, and then we'll just dive in.
So for those of you who don't know me, hi, I am Laurie Burrows. I'm an online sales growth expert. So I simply help businesses like yours to make more money.
Love it. Okay, and tell us a little bit about like your marketing background and corporate and stuff. Like, how did you actually start? What's your story?
So my story, well, with the business, I officially launched it back in January 2020 after being in corporate and marketing and sales for a very, very long time. And it was that typical story. I just simply had enough of working for someone else, living for the weekends, watching the clock, hoping 5 o'clock would be round the corner, having to ask permission to go on holiday, and enough was enough. So I decided to turn my expertise into a business. And then January 2020, I officially launched my first program. But the same day I made my first sale for that program, the 23rd of January 2020, I found out I was unexpectedly pregnant. And I always say unexpectedly pregnant because I'd only known my son's dad for 6 weeks. So it's a little bit of an ipsy daisy. So I wasn't now just birthing a business, I was getting ready to birth a baby as well. But since I've grown this incredible business and generated multi seven figures in sales for my business and for clients as well.
I love that story because I feel like there are so many people out there that are like, well, you're successful, but you did it before you had kids. And you're like, no, no, I was full on from day one, literally having to figure out how I was going to wrap my head around motherhood and ambition and business all at the same time. So, what happened like the first couple of years?
Yeah, so well, to be honest, the first couple of years was such a roller coaster. I feel like life was throwing everything at me. I found out I was pregnant, and then 6 weeks later, we had COVID. We were going into lockdown. So, me and my son's dad had to make this decision on what to do. Do we live apart? Do we live together, even though we don't really know each other?
Yeah.
Moved in together. 6 weeks after that, my dad then got really sick. He had a terminal brain condition, which was all very, very out of the blue. We lost him the following year. So it was trying to start this business while life was really lifing. Like all of the big events that you can go through in life were happening in one go. I mean, pregnancy, moving house, grieving the loss of my dad whilst trying to grow this business.
Mm-hmm. And so, what would you say about anyone that's walking through a real hard season of life right now that's trying to build a business?
I think well, there's a lot that I could say about this because since 2020, I've been through so much grief. I lost my dad, I lost my nan, my granddad, my pops, my mum got cancer. It was one thing after the next. And a lot of people, they come to me because something is happening in their life, whether it's because they're a parent, whether it's because of grief, and they want to learn how to grow a business that allows them to step back more and be there when they need to be there. But honestly, when I get asked that question, it's never actually just the strategy. The biggest thing, like I would be focusing on, is yourself. That's what got me through all of the hard stuff whilst being able to grow this business. Through it all, I heavily focused on how can I be the best version of me? And by doing that, I was able to handle all of these things whilst then also growing the business.
So, like, what kind of like tangible things would you do? Like, are you talking about like getting mentorship or listening to podcasts? Like, what kind of stuff did you actually do? Because everyone says just grow yourself first, and nobody knows what that actually means. You know what I mean? So, what was your version of that work?
Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, mentorship, all of it really. I think the biggest thing that I sort of really focused on was future me. And I have these big goals that I want to be hitting. I've just launched a second business as well. And I'd always think, okay, future me, where is she? What is she doing? How is she showing up each day? What's her mindset like? What habits does she have? And I would write this down in detail. And then I'd ask myself, how do I become her today? And this is something I do every day. It's part of a morning routine, future self visualization. And that allowed me to put really good practices into my business. It gives me a great focus every day. So that was a huge part of it. Getting support, so getting a mentor, coach, a therapist, that really helped me.
Mhm.
Worked with this incredible entrepreneur called Caroline Strawson, and it was honestly life changing. Working with her just made all the difference. So having that support helped. And then implementing healthy habits like running, going to the gym, a place where it would just be about me, focusing on me in that 30, 60, 90 minutes, however long I was there.
I like that. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about, I mean, from a business standpoint, when you were on your way to your first six figures, what was the difference, do you think, between the way you viewed sales or marketing or online business compared to now? Because now you're in like a different, almost like a different stratosphere. And so I think some people think that that makes you like you're up on a pedestal almost, but you're like, I'm just a girl from where, you know what I mean? Like I'm still that person. It's just that I've learned these different things and I look at it differently now. So what would you say the biggest difference is?
I think when I first, I mean, I grew to that first six figures very quickly. I did that within the first year of launching the business. But it was more, I guess more, I'd say messy. I focused on one core offer with one core strategy and I rinsed and repeat. And I still do that now. Like when you're very limited for time, you have to learn to work smarter, not harder. And if there is a way to work smarter and not harder, I have found it. I had to grow this business with less than 20 hours a week, being able to work in it. But I think when I first started, it felt like things were more all over the place. I didn't have the systems and the processes and the team that I had now. It was a little bit more like throwing spaghetti at the wall, but that will only get you so far in business. There's only for so long you can throw that spaghetti at the wall until you need to have those systems and those processes in place within your business.
So you would say that now you look at it very differently because you have a team, so you can kind of expand out more, whereas before you just focused on one core thing.
Yeah, yeah. Now I still within what I do focus on like that core thing. So at the moment I'm building this new business. We're focusing on a core software, but it's not until we perfect that thing and perfect selling that thing that we'll then move on to the next thing.
I like that. I think that there's just too, well, it's so easy to get caught in shiny object syndrome online all the time. Anytime you go onto Instagram, you're going to be told 75 new ways to build business, right? It's so confusing out there. How do you coach your clients into staying away from all the noise?
I think a lot of my clients come to me because of all of the noise. Everyone is so confused what to do right now, especially in 2026. Like what worked in 2020, 2021, 2022 just isn't working the same anymore. So a lot of my clients, they come to me because they're so confused on what to do when there's so many different options. But the thing is, in all honesty, it all works. Like we have this mentor over here telling us to focus on high ticket. We have this mentor over here saying, no, do low ticket. We have this mentor over here telling you something completely different. And the truth is, it does all work, but it's about finding that strategy that is right for you. With my clients, they're usually coming to me as well because they're time poor. They want to grow their income without having to grow their time. So it's then about looking at the right strategy that's going to be there for them with that.
What's your favorite strategy for lead gen?
For lead gen, so my favorite strategy at the moment that I am using, I have two core ones that we teach. One is through Evergreen Webinar, and the other one is through doing an Evergreen live launch, which sounds a little bit weird when it is a live launch. But for so many people, they do these live launches and they don't work for them. Like they're putting their all to generate leads for a live launch. It doesn't go to plan. Or afterwards, they're just left absolutely exhausted from doing it. But they're highly like they work so well. There's still so many entrepreneurs doing them. So I created my own version of a live launch, my own strategy that has all of the benefits of a live launch without actually having to be live for it. So you can do it evergreen. You can just rinse and repeat it without having to constantly go live, constantly be in creation mode,
Mm-hmm.
constantly do new things.
You can still show up in the steps that you actually want the human connection and all the right?
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying? Oh
you can
yeah,
still
that's sweet.
provide the value, you can still give an amazing experience, you can still support the person coming in and getting
Mhm.
result to build trust. Just doesn't require you to be absolutely exhausted by the end of it.
Yeah, we've all been there with the launches
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, and what is your favorite way to help your clients put butts in the seats for those evergreen live launches or webinars?
AI at the moment.
What are you using with AI? I mean, I think I just literally was like, what's this new company with AI that you're launching? I love this. What is this all about?
Yeah, so Ascendia OS is the new company. It's where we're building AI software for businesses. So a big part that we do as part of our lead generation. So how the strategy works is we utilize typical like 5 day boot camp. So the typical 5 day challenge model that most of us have heard of before. And that's what we do to generate leads. But we don't make it about the training. So a lot of them tend to have these big 60, 90-minute trainings every single day, which is why the person hosting them becomes exhausted. They're
Yeah.
live every day on top of everything else. But then these launches have such a huge drop-off rate, especially if you're targeting business owners, because you're doing 60 to 90 minutes a day, and people don't have time to be watching that every single day. Like for me, I wouldn't join it because I'm a mum, I'm a single mum. Uh, I need to have things that are on the go. So I created a method where each day they get a small training, 10 to 20 minutes, something they can watch pre-recorded so they can watch it anytime during that day. But the main part of it is about utilizing AI. So they'll watch a training to learn something because if someone gets those golden nuggets, that aha moment, it builds trust. We then give them an action step because if they implement and get some sort of result, again, it builds trust. But the action step is to go and utilize my custom AI software that I've built. So they're now implementing, they get something tangible back from the AI software. So they're now getting something, so they want to return the next day to get more. But now they're also in my software using it, and they realize after the 5 days, they want to keep using the software. So it's then all sort of planned to take them on a customer journey and give them an amazing experience. So then we utilize it to sell.
Smart. I like it. I haven't seen anybody doing it quite like that. Um, how did, I mean, have you always been like this interested in like the being on the leading edge of technology and AI? Like, is that something that's like fires you up?
For me, what fires me up is data when it comes to marketing and sales. It's how I've managed to perfect these strategies, but also perfect them in a way that, again, has that time, gives you that time back. So I'm always looking at data, and especially with what we're doing our business. With what I do, I get to see behind the scenes of some very big businesses, big names in this space, looking at their data. So I'm constantly able to learn. And naturally, what's come from that is being at the forefront of innovation, of things like AI, because we're now in such a fast paced environment. You learn that this is the way forward. If you're not keeping up to date with all of these new things that are happening, AI, new technologies, new softwares, you're going to fall behind. So it's then looking at how, with the data we have, can we create an incredible strategy that's going to allow us to keep selling.
I think that's just, I mean, it makes so much sense logically, but like it's just like so exciting at the same time. Um, do you use AI to help you with the actual like top of funnel to get people into the world too? Like, do you use it for like the whole, all the steps? Because I think that that's one thing that so many women struggle with that come into my world all the time is how do I actually find my people? Like, it's fun to have everything set up for the launch and everything like that, but like, how do I actually find people out in the world to come in and join that challenge? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, we use AI for so many different things. We've created our own AI as well under Ascendia OS that also helps with all of these things. But I think one of the issues is when we are in this world of AI and everyone is using it, you're now able to, like today, we could easily generate 100 new posts and put them out there in the world. I think if you're utilizing AI, though it can help with so much in your business, there's still some things you should do as a business owner. So, for example, when it comes to visibility and generating leads, we use different methods. One is ads. So, AI supports us with those ads. Another is things like this, where we get in front of other people's audiences, but really that has to be you, that can't be AI. You need to be connecting with the audience. Content, another example. Yes, use AI to support with your content, but don't fully rely on AI to create everything. We're in this huge trust economy when anyone can just create any content and put it out there in the world. Like people need to see you, they need that authenticity from you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's one of our other speakers was talking about how there's always like the pendulum and it always swings one way and then kind of comes back down. And for a little while there, it was like all of a sudden the whole internet felt like it was just flooded with AI content. And then I think there was like a wait a minute, like a pullback where it was like, I need to know that there's a human on the other side of this because that's who I actually, trust that would actually have a lived experience that I can learn from, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think there's certain things you use AI for within the business, certain things you don't. And I think with content, you just have to find that fine line between maybe like use it for things like brainstorming ideas. So I get so many ideas when it comes to content. So I just voice note now my AI, I give it a brain dump and ask it, pull out all the content ideas. Things like that, I use AI for. But then actual recording, like if you look at my Instagram, you'll see it is pretty much all me on video now. So I've got that
Yeah.
connection piece.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what everybody that I've been talking to or that I've been working with are doing just because you can't replace that. Um, okay, awesome. I want to ask one other big thing, which is, have you ever gotten to a place in your business where you kind of wanted to burn it all down because it was taking away from mom life?
I wouldn't say necessarily mum life. I've always been really good at having that balance between mum life, business life. I have like three priorities. Number one, always my little boy. Number two is then me, my health and my fitness. Number three is the business. However, I've just gone through that period of wanting to burn it all down. That's why I've started that second business. Like I've created this amazing business under my brand. See, my whole business is me. Everyone knows Laurie Burrows. And I've kind of had the bit of a shift where I want to create something that isn't just all me. Having a personal brand in 2026, I think, is absolutely key. However, I don't want absolutely everything in that brand always on my face. So, for example, mentorship and training is what we do, but a lot of people will join that because of me. Whereas with Ascendia OS, it's not necessarily down to me, it's what the software itself can do. And 2025 is what I call just the most painful year of my life. It's like everything was being thrown at me. I was still grieving and healing from the loss of my dad and my nan and my pops. But I then went a whole another period of grief. My granddad was end of life of cancer. So I was then looking after him until he passed away end of last year. My mum was then diagnosed with stage 3 cancer. So I was then supporting her. Suddenly became a full-time parent to my little brother, very big age gap of nearly 20 years. It was just one thing after the other. There was a divorce amongst all of it. And I think that, and just going through so much pain and heartbreak in one go, kind of opened my eyes to what it was that I did want in life and what it is that I didn't want in life. So last year I started to slowly, what's the word where, I completely forgot the word. I started to sort of come to an end with some of my mentorship programs and started to just quietly not relaunch things. And then towards the end of last year, began to get clarity on what are these next steps. I just felt disconnected, I think, in 2025 from the business.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I mean, I've definitely walked through a lot of hard in my journey too. And I think that it does just give you perspective so much around exactly what it is that you want moving forward. And I think that's so powerful. So good for you for letting those things go, because there's a lot of people that hang on to them just for the money, right? And if it's not serving you and it's not really what you really want to do anymore, then you're not going to be doing those people inside of it the service either. So I think that's really really smart. um I just want one other question, which is, how do you think motherhood has changed, like shaped who you are as an entrepreneur? Just
Oh, hey, yeah.
a
Eh,
little visitor.
Everything I do is for my little boy. Like I started the business, in all honesty, for selfish reasons. For me, I wanted a bit more money and I wanted more time freedom. That's why I did it. But that moment, 23rd of January 2020, it's like everything shifted. I didn't know I wanted to be a mum before that, but on that day, after doing 7 pregnancy tests to really check I was pregnant, everything changed. And it was now about creating a business that would allow me to be a full-time mum, that would allow me to be there for my little boy. And every decision I make now is based on that. It's based on my son. It's based on being a mum first. Whereas before, it wouldn't have been. So, for example, I turn down a lot of speaking events now. I've been invited all over the world to speak, but I won't because it means time away from my little boy. And like,
Hmm.
my priority, and I created this business to have more time, not less.
Hmm. Just grounds you a little bit, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Okay, so Laurie, what is the best advice that you could give to anyone who is like so excited and running for 7 figures? And whether they're at 6 yet or not, they just know that's like a dream that's in their heart and they know it's meant for them. What is your best advice for how you actually go get it?
I'd say that the biggest thing that I could tell you to do outside of, sorry, I got hay fever, my eyes are starting to cry.
It's all good.
It's like I can feel it running down my face.
Uh,
So, outside of what I mentioned earlier and focusing on you first, having that mindset piece, I think strategy wise, if you want to grow your business as quickly as you can, focus on your visibility. I don't think it's spoken about enough, or I think when some people hear it, they think I'm already doing it, and they're not. The reason I was able to grow this business so quickly is because I got visible. I knew that when I came into the online space, no one had any idea who Laurie Burrows was. So I had to make sure as many people as quickly as possible knew who I was and why I was the expert. Not only does it grow your audience, but it then grows your reputation. The more people who know you, the bigger that reputation will get. And then naturally, visibility opportunities land in your lap. I get asked to speak on stages, on podcasts, at virtual events now without having to search for them because I built that reputation. But I really think it's that top end of funnel, that visibility piece that helps you to get to that 7 figures quickly. Visibility equals leads. When you have leads, you've got more people to nurture and it equals sales. It's how I'm growing my second business so quickly. So Send Your OS is literally right now going out and I'm documenting over on Instagram, making my first 6 figures. And then I'm going to be documenting, taking it to 7 figures, literally sharing everything, not gatekeeping anything. I'm going to be putting it all out there. But what I'm doing to make that happen is focusing on visibility. This week,
mhm.
all I've been doing, focus on visibility, because the more I do that, the easier that first 6 figures will get. And fingers crossed, we'll do it in the next 30 days.
Yee, that's so exciting. It just literally launched this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. I'm pumped. I can't wait to see what happens with it.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Laurie, for being here. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to drop a link to where everybody can find you and where they can go check out your new software too. Is that cool?
Amazing. That'd be great.
Okay, amazing. Thanks, Laurie.
Thank you.